So we're going to be talking about the best innovations or inventions from either Chevy, Ford, or Chrysler. So let's get started right now. Now, I think an obvious place to start is with Ford. Now, Ford invented the modern assembly line, which basically a car used to take roughly 13 hours to produce, and the modern assembly line or conveyor belt system that Henry Ford invented reduced that time to only 90 minutes, allowing them to produce millions of vehicles instead of tens of thousands of vehicles. Now, a close second place or tie for first would be the flathead V8 engine. Now, that was the first mass produced affordable V8 engine. It's also referred to as a side valve engine, and that was made possible by the conveyor belt system. So you had the modern assembly line, which eventually led to the flathead V8 producing 3,000 engines a day. So that is a pretty significant fact. Now let's go to Chevy. So the assembly line is already intact. Everybody is using the modern assembly line. So what does this mean for Chevy? Well, Chevy in the 1950s had 5 different brands that were all making competitive V8 engines. You had Cadillac and Oldsmobile in 1949 with the Rocket and the different big block variations. Then you had Buick with the Nailhead V8. And then you had Pontiac and Chevy sort of waiting to last. Pontiac came out with theirs in the Chieftain, and then Chevy came out with their first small block with the Bel Air and the Corvette. Now, the goal was to make it low profile, lightweight, easy to produce. And believe it or not, today they're still making small block V8s, like in the Chevy Silverado High Country right here that has a 6.2 liter small block V8 and also comes in a 5.3 liter as well. So the small block V8 is hands down Chevy's biggest contribution in the modern automotive world. So much different than Ford, where Ford started got the ball rolling with everything. Chevy has sort of continued the old school small block V8. Now let's come down to Chrysler or Dodge, whatever family of vehicles you want to refer to. And believe it or not, it's a cylinder head design referred to as the Hemi. No, I'm not going to say the minivan of 1984. It's actually the Hemi, or the half circle or half moon design of the combustion chamber. So why is a Hemi still so important? Even though they're switching to the new Huracan engine, why was the Hemi so popular for so long? And that is because the surface area of the Hemi combustion chamber allows for a very large input and exhaust gas valve. And the surface area is so small that there's very little heat loss with that type of a combustion chamber. So basically, in the NASCAR circuit, the Hemi sort of forced everybody to step up their game. Even Ford, with their SOHC Camry, used a Hemi design for that specific purpose. Is the Hemi was so influential in the NASCAR